One of the biggest mistakes of the 2016 election, I think, was actually the Make America Great Again logo. I wore the hat. I loved it, all that. But I look back on it and I'm like, there's no way we can recreate the 50s, the 60s. We can, wear the aesthetic fashion or this or that, but it's always going to be an aesthetic thing. You can't recreate times past. You can't recreate movements past. You need new things. And I see J.K. Rowling, she's not a conservative, she's not a right-winger, but she's kind of started this new radfem movement that I actually really appreciate. I was walking around my small town in Canada and saw stickers saying, dump your porn-sick boyfriend, and other ones saying, protect women's spaces. And it's like a left-wing area. Right. But this is like a movement that transcends left and right. It's new, it's interesting. Transcends. Yeah. And that's what we need. We don't necessarily need the same... age-old archetypes we're convincing back and forth. Not to say I don't have my biases there, but there has to be something new for a... modern problems require modern solutions.
I don't entirely agree with that. I think there's some truth in that, in the sense that, of course, that's why my arms are crossed. I'm very angry right now with both of you. I'm surrounded by people who are wrong about things, and so my arms are crossed. I believe that when it comes to people like TERFs, I 100% agree, just as I think it's great that Matt Gaetz and AOC are working together to pass legislation that says people who are elected officials should not be able to trade. I would also say that we should be willing to work with people with whom we disagree when there's common ground and we can achieve something together. Absolutely no argument for me there. However, we need to keep in mind the substantive differences.
Who's we?
And that's exactly what we're trying to figure out, right? Who is we? And what are our principles?
But in trying to find that out, people are purity spiraling into oblivion!
No, it's not purity spiraling. I say that conservative should mean something.
Of course it should, but it doesn't anymore.
My position is not that we refuse to collaborate with anyone with whom we can make ground in the culture war. My position is to simply say we need to operate from a position of principle, and we need to remember that all of the TERFs right now who are saying men should not be able to invade women's spaces were cheering 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 years ago every single time men's spaces were invaded by women. And now they are receiving their just desserts, and they're saying, I don't like how this tastes.
They're not the same people.
And so what we should be doing is saying, we will work with you on pushing the left back. However, your root principles are bad, and we need to help you understand that. That's simply what I'm saying.
I agree with Tim. They're not the same people. The women who are saying we want our women's only gym are not the ones saying we need they're like,
it's a mixture. I said the TERFs. I said the TERFs. I'm talking about TERFs specifically. I'm not talking about your average woman.
A 30-year-old Radfem or whatever.
Yeah, Radfems
was not in the 70s being like, men's spaces are ours. They weren't alive.
But I'm saying they were the intellectual heirs of that. So in 2010, in 2000,
sins of the father.
No. I'm just talking about 10 years ago. I'm saying this started, or at least it began to manifest publicly in the 60s. But if you go back 10 years ago, you had these feminists cheering for the elimination of male-only spaces. This is stuff that happened within our lifetime.
What I'm saying,
and so here's my argument, and I don't know how you could disagree. This next point I'm going to make, I don't know how you could disagree with this. What I'm saying is, yes, we do need to work with people with whom we disagree, even on principle, so that we can push the left back and have victories in the culture war where we have common ground with those people. However, and this is an important key point, once we get to that point where we no longer agree, we're gonna reach an impasse. And so we need to figure out, as we're collaborating with them, what are our base principles, because we're not going to be able to move forward past the first victory that we get if we can't agree upon where the culture needs to go. Because J.K. Rowling can push back on the trans issues with us, and I think that's great if she does that. But once we get to that point, the next step is, well, now we need to stop normalizing LGBTQ lifestyles in general to children, and she's not with us there.
Let me. If aliens attacked Earth, I absolutely would team up with Lance and Vosh.
You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying we shouldn't team up with people with whom we disagree. I'm saying we need to figure out our principles.
Rowling promoted
I know, and you let me finish my point. Well, go ahead.
Children LGBTQ?
Well, she writes a series of children's books where she has made an effort to say that there's LGBT representation in it, where she's saying this character in a children's book is gay. And there's a reason conservatives...
She never even explicitly said that in the book.
Well,
she just said later the old man in it.
I'm saying there's a reason conservatives are upset by that.
Explicitly have the gay romance. Like the third movie, The Secret of Dumbledore, the secret is he's gay.
Oh.
So The Secret of Dumbledore is the third Fantastic Beasts, I think. Yeah, it's Fantastic Beasts and Crimes of Grindelwald. Secret of Dumbledore is that Dumbledore is gay and had sex with with Magic Hitler.
And so,
But I'm not trying to be crass. Like, that's literally the story.
I think I just want to ensure, because I think we're talking past each other. I want to make my point really clear here. I am saying when we agree with them, we should work with them where we have common ground.
Right.
We also can't forget our principles, and we need to do the work to try to convince them of a more robust, principled version
working.
of that position. Yeah, and
So-
Like, is
so
the
many-
political goal to ban portrayals of gay people in movies?
it's to make them unthinkable. It's to bring it to the point where parents would not want their children to be consuming any kind of media franchise
So, like,
that promotes those
would
lifestyles.
you
and we're not
say-
going to get there overnight. And I'm not saying we are going to get there overnight, but I'm saying we should know what our principles
So
are.
how would you do? So let's say Seamus becomes the president. What policies would you put in place to ensure there were no gay Dumbledores in movies?
I don't think you're not understanding my position. My position is not
He's pro
saying
gay
that
Dumbledore.
right
He's
Yeah, absolutely.
my position is not my position is not that we are going to have an instant solution, and it's certainly not that we're going to have an instant top-down solution. My argument is simply that as conservatives, we need to be rooted in principle, so that when we do work with left-wing people on things that we do have some agreement on, we don't lose sight of our actual end goal. It's not me saying that tomorrow
I get
there's
it.
no yeah.
So I'm gonna make a fan fiction Freedom Tunes channel where it's everything's the same, but all the characters are gay.
I'm sure that exists somewhere.
But,
You know,
okay,
with
so
AI.
if I'm J.K. Rowling and you're coming up to me saying I want to work with you, and I guess putting myself in her brain, assuming that it was my goal to have a gay Dumbledore in a movie, I'd be wondering, why would I work with you if your end goal is to try to ban my movies?
I'm not going to look, she can choose whether she wants to work with me or not. I'm not going to lie to her about what my beliefs are
Yeah.
to get her on my side.
And then what if, though, after the left ruthlessly attacked J.K. Rowling and tried to destroy everything she's ever done, she decides, you know what? I'm going to stick it so hard to these people. She just tweets, Dumbledore's actually not gay anymore.
She goes,
that-
Dumbledore was straight the whole time.
no.
And then it was,
She could-
Dumbledore wasn't a menstruator.
She could write, if she so choose, after the events of the Secrets of Dumbledore, Dumbledore had conversion therapy successfully. But she can do that.
Magic conversion therapy.
Please.
Or she can be like, he drank a potion that made him
Yeah.
straight.
Oh my
The
goodness.
straight potion.
Oh my goodness.
like, that's- this is
the unforgivable spell is when you turn someone straight.
The fourth, so there's unforgivable curses, right?
There's an unforgivable curse where you turn someone
Right.
heterosexual.
So there's three, but she could do this. There's Avada Kedavra. I know this, okay?
You shouldn't.
The Cruciatus
Crucio,
Curse.
yeah.
And what's the third one? Mind controls people. I
gay
forgot what it's called,
curse.
though. Which so there's the killing curse,
Pornography?
the torture curse, and the mind control curse are the three unforgivable curses. She could, if she wanted, write one. The fourth unforgivable curse turns a person straight. Like, my point is just this. As the creator of the Harry Potter universe and the controller of a multi-billion-dollar... Do it, do it. Think about this, Seamus. If she gets to the point where she gets so angry at being beaten down by these people, so here's what happened. She made Dumbledore gay because of social pressure. If these people push her too hard, she might just find out, like, you know what? Fine, screw it. Hermione's white, Dumbledore isn't gay anymore, and trans people aren't in the Harry Potter universe.
J.K. Rowling, we can
Well,
make this
most
future.
of
All
the
right?
Harry
Listen to
Potter
me.
universe is really like quite right wing. It's they've created this ethno state for wizards.
Nationalist.
Very nationalist. It's all about walls. They're not letting anyone in here. Hogwarts, surrounded by a magic barrier.
And Diagon Alley, this brick wall that you can't get through unless you have magic powers.
It's too bad they're all
Absolutely.
Satanists.
Well, see, this is what I mean. I don't think that Voldemort
have
represents.
Christmas.
I don't think Voldemort is Hitler.
I mean, a lot of
Wait,
Satanists
they
in this
were
culture celebrate
genociding
Christmas.
witches in America. Why? He's like, let's start a movement
wait.
against these genocidal maniacs.
They celebrated Christmas.
Look, a lot of people celebrate Christmas who don't really believe.
Yes, but the point is, if you see heathens start to take up a practice, you don't say, well, you're a heathen. You say,
Yes, I do.
let me teach you more.
No, I agree with you.
Come with me and let me show you what this is all about.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So if Harry Potter is a Satanist, but he's
gonna
enjoying
fix him. I can
Christmas.
fix him.
Christmas is your open door to say you can fix Harry.
Like, well, Harry, you like this
can fix him.
holiday. Let me tell you something. Let's have a conversation, buddy.
Hold on, there
Let's
is
sit him
something
down.
interesting about them celebrating Christmas.
There
but
is
being
something
witches
very
and wizards.
interesting. Maybe it's
What is that
maybe it's like some kind of Black Christmas. You know, they're doing like a satanic version of it. Yeah.
Harry Potter doing a satanic worshiping the devil.
He is. He's worshiping the
But
devil.
no, but there